Today, we're going to talk about why you should do Disney with a toddler during a pandemic. That's right, guys. I said, take your toddler to Disney World. It's fun, I promise. I got some tips for you. What's up, guys? It's April with the Rockstar Mom Sisterhood, and welcome to my channel, where you can find out how you can travel like a rock star with a toddler. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and click that like button so I can keep plenty more of this coming your way. So what I'm going to do for you today is I'm going to give you my favorite reasons to take a toddler to Disney World, and I'm going to throw some really awesome tips in there as well. So that way you are fully prepared for your trip to Disney with your toddler. So we all know that Disney World is a little bit different right now, but it's still magical. And I promise you, moms, I speak from experience when I tell you this. We went this past November and had an absolute blast. Now, Jameson was 18 months at the time, and I know what you're thinking. Who the heck would take an 18-month-old to Disney World? But I promise you, he had such a blast, and he's 21 months old now, and he actually still remembers it. I know that sounds wild, but seriously, it's so cool. He knows the Beasts restaurant, Be Our Guest. He remembers all of that, and the cavalcades and everything else. So I'm going to break this all down for you into some really handy-dandy tips and some really fun reasons why this is going to be the trip of a lifetime for you. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you think that the lines for the rides are going to be short, do not make this trip. They might be, or they might not be. There's no way of knowing. I was there for 6 days, and some days they were super short, and the last couple days they were super long. Even the lines for food were long. So if you're looking to go right now because you're like, hey, the lines are going to be so short, that may or may not be the case. So that is not the reason to go right now, but there's so many other reasons. I promise you, you're going to have a blast. Let's start with, it's such a weird reason, but it's also a top reason for me. But this is the last year of the Magical Express. The Magical Express is super nostalgic to me. I have had this be part of my vacation forever. I have enjoyed Disney as an adult way too many times, and I love that my toddler got to experience that when we went on our trip. But after 2021, it's going to be gone. We have no idea what's going to replace it. For those of you who don't know what it is, you get to the airport. If you're staying at a Disney resort, all you have to do is grab your luggage, walk over to the Magical Express, hop on your charter bus, and it takes you directly to your resort, or it takes you to a group of resorts, and one of them is yours. It's free as part of your Disney package. Honestly, it's just so much more convenient than having to figure out a car seat, have the expense or the hassle of renting a car, and I certainly don't want to have to deal with the ride share. I'm not a big fan of ride shares, especially with kids. It's just a no for me. If Magical Express is as nostalgic to you as it is to me, then I definitely suggest that this is the year so you can experience it one last time. Make sure you rent a stroller or bring your own stroller, not an umbrella stroller. You can't bring certain kinds of strollers that are super big, no wagon strollers, things like that. So make sure you look at what Disney's requirements are and go along with that. If you do rent a stroller, those are always mostly going to be, they'll tell you whether or not they are within Disney's restrictions or not. I did rent a stroller on the trip. It was absolutely fantastic. I used Kingdom strollers, but I've heard great things about other companies as well. So whoever you use, I'm sure it's going to be great. Next time around, I would definitely bring my own stroller, just because sometimes the drop-off times don't coincide with the times that I have to be at the airport. So on the last day, I did have to drop the stroller off early, and then we did go to Magic Kingdom for a few hours, so I had to rent one of their day strollers there, which was, it was fine, but far less convenient. Couldn't really carry a whole lot of stuff. Even if your kid is like 4, 5, 6, even 7 maybe. Depends on your kid and how big they are and how much walking they like to do. But it's a lot of walking for little feet. Rent a stroller. And they can nap in the stroller while you kind of do your shopping or do all the things that you want to do. Get a cocktail, get some coffee, whatever it is you want to do. So that stroller is going to be a lifesaver for you, and you're going to have a lot of storage underneath. That's why I say no umbrella strollers. You can even get a place where you can hold your coffee or whatever. Or even though you can't drink while you're walking, get a stroller. So this kind of coincides with the whole get a stroller thing. If you're not staying at a monorail resort, meaning one of the resorts that is accessible directly to the monorail, like your Grand Floridian, Polynesian, Contemporary, I highly suggest staying at a Skyliner resort. The Skyliner resorts are going to be Art of Animation, Riviera Resort, Pop Century, and Caribbean Beach. I love the Skyliner because you can walk right on with your stroller, unless you have a double wide stroller, and then you're gonna have to break it down. However, you can walk right on with your stroller. There's no breaking it down, worrying about what's underneath, worrying about your drink cups that are on top that you're gonna have to do when you're getting on the buses, when you're getting on any of the other transportation, except for the monorail or the Skyliner. So if you're on a budget, I definitely suggest doing a Skyliner resort. I stayed at Art of Animation. Oh my God, did we love it there. A lot of walking if you stay in the Little Mermaid rooms, so keep that in mind. But it was absolutely fantastic. We were able to jump right on the Skyliner and enjoy a ride over to Epcot, over to Hollywood Studios, or even over to the International Gateway, where you can enjoy lots of different restaurants, even just a nice little stroll along the lake. Do keep that in mind, and I definitely suggest doing that. So speaking of the Skyliner, if you're staying at a Skyliner resort, I highly suggest checking out the restaurants along Epcot's International Gateway. You're gonna have all of those resorts over there. You have the yacht and beach clubs, the boardwalk, all of those resorts. So they have a lot of fantastic restaurant options in those resorts that you're not gonna get at, say, Pop Century or Art of Animation, or if you want something that's a little bit different than what's available at Caribbean Beach or at Riviera. Over there, my absolute favorite is Beaches and Cream. Now that is a really, really small restaurant, so I get restaurant reservations. If you can't get them, check out mousedining.com. For $5 a month, you can actually sign up to get dining alerts when people cancel their reservations. That's a very hot tip that I'm giving you guys. They have the kitchen sink sundae, which is pretty famous amongst Disney fans, and they have a fantastic, let me tell you, if you love grilled cheese with tomato soup, OMG, you must get that. Their food is really good, and it's not just about ice cream. So definitely check that out and enjoy a stroll along the lake. It's really fun after dinner, and you can work off all those calories. All right, guys, this one's gonna be kind of controversial. I'm gonna tell you this. One of the reasons that I love Disney right now is I love the cavalcades. Hear me out. Think about it. It's parade time. You're in line. You're standing on the sidewalk for an hour with a screaming toddler who has no clue why on earth you would be standing on a sidewalk when there's shops and there's rides and there's all kinds of things for them to be doing, and we're just standing here and you're in a crowd, and then there's like 3 people in front of you even though you've been there for an hour. You want to see the parade and it's really hard, and then you got to put your toddler on top of your shoulders and then you can't see their reactions. No, I don't want to do that. Seriously, the cavalcades eliminate all of that. You're walking, they pipe this music through the park, you hear it, pull your stroller over to the side, stand there, there's no one in front of you because people have to be distanced, and the cavalcade comes by. They've got all kinds of characters. We saw Mickey and Minnie and Pluto and Mary Poppins and Goofy and Donald, Winnie the Pooh and Tigger. We saw princesses too. Jameson was very shy. He loves the princesses. He thinks Rapunzel's so pretty. But anyway, I love the cavalcades. Toddlers have zero attention span. So even after you go through the whole thing, you're like, oh my God, we stood on the sidewalk for an hour and we tried to see past the people in front of us, and then your toddler watches it for 5 minutes and he's bored and he's done. You just wasted an hour of your time because your toddler has an attention span of a goldfish. Guess what? A cavalcade is only 5 minutes and it's perfect. I love the cavalcades. I hope they stay. If you're traveling with family, if you have someone that is willing to hang back at the hotel first thing in the morning and watch your toddler, or hang with your toddler, or dad wants to hang with the toddler, grandma and grandpa want to hang with the toddler, take some mom time. Go to the park in the morning, whatever park it is you want to go to, whatever rides that you want to ride, and go for an hour or 2 by yourself and ride the rides. I did it at Magic Kingdom. I got there super early. I walked on the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Oh my God. I've never been to the parks by myself. I've always been with people. But to go by myself and have that little bit of mom time during the trip, it was a little bit of mom magic, I'm not gonna lie. My next tip is to book your character dining. You have to do that 60 days out. Set your alarm. Character dining was super limited when I went in November. It's starting to open up, but it is very, very hard to get reservations still. So make those dining reservations 60 days in advance and get into those character dining experiences. I know a lot of people might say, oh, but you can't hug the characters. But that might not be an awful thing for a toddler. With my son, they kept a safe distance, and he was super excited to kind of see Mickey and Pluto and Chip and Dale. We did Garden Grill. We absolutely loved it. I would have loved to have done Topolino's Terrace. We were not able to get reservations for this trip. It was a bit of a last minute. We booked it about 30 days in advance, but we were still able to get Garden Grill, and the food was so good. Can't say enough great things about that place. But honestly, do the character dining. They'll be able to wave. Since there aren't as many guests in there, I've actually found and heard that the character interactions, depending on the restaurant, can be a lot more personalized, and we really did find that when we dined at Garden Grill. My son was so excited because I think all the characters came around about 5 times while we were there. It was actually like, oh my God, I want to eat my food. But it was so fantastic. The experience just made my heart soar. You might not get that super awesome picture, but you can get some cool pictures. If you check these out, you can see we did get some really fun pictures, and you're going to have a great experience. If you're staying at a Disney resort, make time to explore the resorts with your kids. As an adult, never really cared too much. I love staying in luxury, trust me. That's not what I'm saying. I love the deluxe resorts at Disney. However, don't make it all about the parks like I used to do. Take some time, explore the resorts, especially places like Pop Century, Art of Animation. They have plenty of things for the kids to look at, plenty of places for them to play. If the weather's behaving, which it did not on my trip because it was way too cold. However, take some time to go for a swim. I mean, honestly, these resorts were built to entertain the children in the times that they're not at the resorts. My son was in love with everything that had to do with cars, and I can't even make this up. I did not even tell him to do this, but he went and hugged Lightning McQueen. So enjoy the spectacles that are going to be there for you at the resorts. Your kids are going to love it, and it's going to make some fantastic memories. Do not be surprised if Mickey's biggest fan, aka your toddler, suddenly is shell-shocked when he sees Mickey. My son, the first thing he did when he saw him, turned his head away, would not look at Mickey Mouse. I swear. So don't be shocked. Give him some time. It is so much to take in. He just sat there with his mouth open and had no idea what to think of anything that was going on. But in the end, he remembers all of the cool details. So just give them some time to take it all in. And time for another tip. This one is huge. Huge. Be flexible. Now I know I am a Disney fan, and I've been since way before I had my son. But when you have a toddler, you really cannot set too many expectations. I know we all have our dreams of getting up early and being there for a rope drop or an hour before opening, since there's not really a rope drop right now. But honestly, you have to be flexible. Maybe one day you're not going to make it there super early in the morning, but your toddler might actually make it to park closing. Or vice versa. Maybe you'll get there early in the morning and you have this big dream that you're going to be there after everybody leaves, and you're going to get that super awesome picture in front of the castle, but your toddler's sleeping and it's not happening. Maybe you have this dream of getting this really awesome picture, but your toddler is being an absolute butt and won't smile. Like mine until the very last picture that we took. I swear he would not smile for one castle picture. And I couldn't smile because I had a stupid mask on. Set your expectations to, have your dreams, but also be flexible, okay? These are kids. Absolutely utilize the food delivery systems. I used Instacart. There are plenty of other ones out there, but we used Instacart and ordered bottled water to the room, snacks like snack bars. I love French vanilla coffee creamer, so I got that, kept that in the fridge. I got a bottle of wine. That was so good. You can get wine at the resorts though too, in the gift shop, so don't worry about that if you don't order the wine. But definitely utilize the food delivery systems. Get yourself the snacks, anything that you think is going to save yourself some money. Toddlers are terrorists, so get snacks. This one's going to seem super small, but it's super awesome. Get your toddler the ears. I'm serious. I don't care if you get them beforehand, if you get them in the parks, if you get them at your resort, but get your toddler the ears. It's, especially if it's their first trip. Oh my gosh, it was such a wonderful thing seeing my son dance around. He actually stole my ears before I got him his, and that's when I was like, I need to get this child some ears. If you've loved what you've heard today, Don't forget to click that subscribe button, click that like button, leave me a comment, let me know what you loved, what you hated, what you want to see more of. And if there's any places that you want me to talk about, let me know. If I've been there, I'm going to make you a video. If I haven't, hello, I'm always looking for more places to go. Definitely looking forward to seeing you Rockstar Moms again. I've got lots more coming. It's not just Disney related, it's lots of travel info, tips and places and things, and I've even got some fashion coming. So Rockstar Moms, I love you. I will see you next time.